Hello students, welcome to our virtual class. The virtual class that we are having today is because of, as you know, because of the outbreak of coronavirus. Now, and you people must be sitting at home and wondering what to do. Here we have our different classes which we'll be holding for you people. Today, I'll be talking about our first chapter of history, that is the rise of nationalism in Europe. Now, this chapter basically focuses on four different countries. We'll be talking about France, we'll be talking about Germany, we'll be talking about Italy, and we'll be talking about England. How these nations became united countries, or how these nations attained a state of a nation state. Now, so we'll start with first a painting which is given in your book. Now this painting, if you see, is the first painting among the four paintings that were drawn by Frederick Sorio in 1848. Now this painting, if you see, basically talks about his vision, his utopian vision of democratic and social republic. Now what do you mean by the word utopian? Utopian basically means something which is far to be true. 1848, if you talk about, it was really impossible for the people to dream about a nation state. Now, what does the word nation state mean? Nation state basically talks about a country with a definite history where people of the nation, they have a common history, they have a common identity, they have a common language. For example, if you talk about India during the British rule or much before that, India having a definite boundary, but within the country there were different kingdoms. There were different kingdoms ruled by different dynasties, different rulers. So India during that time cannot be called as a nation state. It was basically a multinational dynasties. Excuse me. Similarly, when you talk about Europe during this time, it was also Europe was also ruled by multinational dynasties. Now, in this painting, Sorio drew or painted the Statue of Liberty. In front of Statue of Liberty, we have a long train of people of Europe as well as America. Now, these people belong to different classes and as well as gender. Men, women, all you will see over here holding the flag of their nations as well as in their local costumes. Beyond Statue of Liberty, just passing the Statue of Liberty, you can see the flag of France. That is, France has just attained, or France has just become a nation state, followed by Germany, where peoples of Germany are basically trying or they are in a process of becoming a nation state. Statue of Liberty holding torch of enlightenment in one hand, the Charter of Rights of Man in the other hand. In the foreground, on the earth, lie various symbols that represents or that depict the absolutist institutions. Absolutist institutions basically representing the monarchical form of government. So this depicts that slowly and gradually the monarchical form of government is coming to an end. From the heaven, you can see saints, Christ, angels, and saints who are looking over on the earth, trying to figure out what the people of the earth are up to or what are they trying to do. Basically, and they are actually happy to see the fraternity where people belonging to different classes are trying to come together. Now, this painting, like we've just talked about, we'll have a quick recap of that. Painting by Frederick Sorio in 1848. People of Europe and America offering homage to Statue of Liberty. On the earth lie images, shattered remains of symbols of absolutist institutions. It is basically Sorio's utopian vision. Like I said, utopian, something which is far to be true. Procession is led by US and Switzerland. US and Switzerland have already attained the state of nation state. France has just reached the statue of tricolor, with the tricolor followed by the people of Germany. And from the heaven we have Christ, saints and angels looking over the earth. Now we'll start our chapter with the French Revolution. How the French Revolution happened, which you people have already studied in class 9. So we will not be studying that. We'll be talking about what happened in France after the French Revolution and the idea of the nation. Idea of nation, where you are talking about people belonging to a particular nation. Now, French Revolution that occurred in 1789 basically gave the symbol of collective belonging, where people started belonging, started feeling they started having the feeling of nationalism among themselves. Nationalism, that is feeling of collective belonging. French Revolution, if you talk about France, before the French Revolution, France was a territorial state, complete monarchical territorial state. What is monarchical territorial state? A country ruled by a monarch. After the French Revolution, it became a nation state, it became a republic, it became a democratic. The ideas that came after the French Revolution, that is the idea of la patrie, that is the feeling of fatherland. India, if we talk about India as a motherland. In the same manner, the French talk about their country as the fatherland. When you talk, the feeling of laicity, that is the citizens. There were no rulers, there were no nobles. Everybody was treated in the same manner. We've studied in class 9 that the French society was divided into 3 states. Over here, there are no states. Everybody is same in the eyes of law. France adopted a tricolor flag. Before 1789, if you talk about, this was the flag that France had, the royal flag. After the revolution, after 1789, if you talk about, we have a tricolor flag, blue, white and red. Blue is basically very close to the pole. These 3 colors, if you talk about, they stands for liberty, equality and fraternity. There was the National Assembly that was formed, National Assembly, a constituent body which was basically elected by the active citizens. Now, since we've already started in class 9, who were active citizens? Active citizens were the ones, those who could pay their 3 days wages as a tax. So those were the people, those who had the right to vote and could elect the National Assembly. The Constitution of France was basically drafted by this assembly. Hymns, oaths were there, uniting the people together. There was a centralized administration and uniform laws. Laws were not very different for different people. There were same laws for everyone. That is what we can talk about is France now adopted the rule of law. Next that we have is abolition of internal duties and dues. Now, like we already studied and in the beginning of the chapter we talked about, Europe was basically a multinational dynastic country. Over there, within one country, there were different, people had to pay different taxes while they were moving from one territory to the other territory. So there, all these internal dues and duties that were there, they were all abolished after the French Revolution. From 1789 onwards, people had to pay a common tax which was there. People did not have to pay a tax when they were crossing one territory or they were moving from one territory to the other territory. There was a uniform system of weights and measures. Like taxes were there in the same manner. The different territories had their different measures, different weights. But after 1789, a uniform system of weights and measures was adopted, and this, if you remember, came with Napoleon in 1799 when Napoleon came into power. Then the language. Language basically plays a very important role in uniting the people of the country. So the people had different dialects, and all these dialects were abolished. The French that was spoken in Paris, that was written in Paris, that French became the language of the entire country. So basically the use of Parisian French. Now, what happened? What was the impact of this revolution on Europe as well as in other countries? Now, the idea of the French Revolution started spreading to the nearby countries, and students as well as the members of other educated middle classes started adopting or wanted the same change in their country. Hence, students in different countries started setting up Jacobean clubs in other countries. Now, you've already started in class 9. What is Jacobean club? Now, members of these clubs in different countries started helping the French armies in their invasion in these various countries, in the nearby country. Like if you talk about the two islands of Scilly or Austria or Hungary, if you talk about. So in these countries, the French armies invaded and started liberating people. So today, we'll stop here, and in the next class, we'll be talking about what changes came up when Napoleon came into power. Thank you and have a nice day.